Welcome to our Bhagavad Gita Sunday program. We discuss different themes of Bhagavad Gita. Today the topic is, why do we sin against our own will? So I'll chant auspicious Mangalachara and then we can start. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Okay. So the topic is, why do we sin against our will? Actually, this is a theme from Bhagavad Gita. All our topics, some of them are themes. Okay. There's a nature of some unwanted bad habits we have, or criminal tendencies in extreme case. What is that? One peculiar nature is that people know it's bad, still they do it. It's not that they don't know it's bad. People know, still they do wrong. Even another thing is, they know they'll get punished. Now a criminal, he does something wrong, he knows I'll get punished, I'll get in big trouble. It's not that they don't know. Still he'll do it. Sometime some crime is committed, and then what happens? Some authorities or NGO says, we are going to educate the community about the evils of drugs or terrorism. Or everyone knows it's bad. We don't have to educate them. The problem is how to stop them, how to stop people doing bad things. They know it's bad. Otherwise, why do they hide and do it? Or why do they run away after doing it? So it's not that people don't know it's wrong, but they don't have the force to stop themselves because they're being impelled by something. We have to understand what this is. So why do we sin against our will? We know it's wrong, we know the result, still we continue. So now, very interesting that Bhagavad Gita, which is the absolute truth in 700 verses, very to the point, perfect, mentions the same question. Arjun asked Krishna the same thing. He says, Atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varshneya baladivaniyojita. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, means Krishna, by what is one impelled to sinful act, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? When we are doing some wrong thing, by force we are being pushed to do it. Arjuna had a good question. Actually, see, this word is there, impelled. Anichan. Ichha means desire, to do. Ichha. But here, anichan. I don't want to do it. I know it's not good. Still I'm being pushed to do it. Anichanapi varshneya. Bala divaniyojita. Bala means with strongly force, by force. Bala divaniyojita. Okay, so and now let's look at the context. Everyone is fighting their own personal battles in their mind and in their heart. Why did Arjuna ask this question? Arjuna was in the Varnashram community, and in the community everyone has a duty to perform. So Arjuna was a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas are duty bound to maintain dharma, and they are trained to, in the fighting art, they are trained in the politics, they are trained in so many ways to maintain law and order. They even train what is law, what is dharma. But in this case, Arjuna didn't want to fight. So he knew this is not right. I am deviating from my duty, I know it. But I cannot fight because my family is that side. But they were his family, but they were adharmic. They were going to spread adharma. Because they were ruling, there was adharma. So it was his duty to fight and establish dharma, but he didn't want to do it, and this is wrong, and he knew it. So he's asking Krishna, what is it that makes someone sin against their will? And for him in this case was not fighting. That is a sin in this case. As Srila Prabhupada said, actually non-violence is not a philosophy of Gita in the sense of not fighting. Prabhupada says actually the whole Gita Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight. So how can you establish non-violence from Gita? The conclusion is Karishya Vastanam, that I will fight. That's conclusion of Gita. So it's not that, but our non-violence means not keeping people in ignorance, spiritual ignorance. The greatest violence is restricting spiritual advancement of someone. This is, if you look in Bhagavad Gita where it says ahimsa, if you study, that's the meaning. Okay, so this is the sin that Arjuna wanted to avoid, of not doing his duty. So he said, Anichan, I don't want to do this, but I'm being forced. And then that question is for all of us, but we all have our own different battles, things which we do wrong, we don't want to do. So how to look at it? Okay, so Krishna gives the answer. Now we're going to look at this, it's a technical deep depth, okay, so you can try to follow that the answer that Krishna gives. He says, actually we have many verses in this, I didn't put all of them because we'll get lost, but anyway, he says, what is the reason? He says, Kama esha, krodha esha, rajaguna samudbhava, mahashano mahapapma, vidhi ainam hi vedinam. So Krishna says that the reason that we sin against our will, he says, Kama esha, krodha esha. Esha means this. This is due to kama. And now kam, what is the meaning? Kam means desire to enjoy myself. And there are two words. Anything we do is out of prem or kam. So definition is, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that when we use our senses in the service of God, that is bhakti, that is prem. Out of love of God, we are serving God. When we use our senses to satisfy ourselves, that is kam. So it is like iron and gold, opposite. Atmendra priti vancha tare bale kam. Krishnendriya priti vancha tare bale prem. When we use our senses to satisfy ourselves, that is kam. Using it to satisfy Krishna, that is prem. So Krishna says the reason that one is impelled to do wrong things is that desire to enjoy themselves. You see, supposing now society is adharmic, hopefully we can change it, but people are supposed to be following dharma. So if a situation comes, I don't want to follow dharma, or shall I follow? But we are not following. What is it that's pulling us away? It is kam. The desire that I want to enjoy, why should I submit to some religious or spiritual process? That is the idea. I mean, that is coming to the root of it. That any action we do, either we do it in a dharmic way or adharmic way. So Krishna gives this answer. The desire to enjoy separate from Krishna, this is called kam. And then he says, Rajaguna samudbhava. That this kam, the desire for me that I want to enjoy, I don't want to follow the dharmic process, this is born from Rajogun, mode of passion. Now I'm going to explain that. I know maybe some of them are not so knowing these things. Just 1 second, where is that slide? Okay, sorry. Okay, so now in order to understand the answer, because Krishna said the answer is what? He said, first of all, the reason that we sin against our will is because we have kam. Kam, that desire for enjoying, comes from Rajogun. Now what is Rajogun? What is kam? Let's look at that. Okay, in order to understand what is Rajogun, what is mode of passion, some of you know, some don't know. Let me explain it in this way. Okay, that Krishna, the God, has many energies by which he is controlling everything in this creation. But all the energies can be divided into three. Okay, These are the three energies. Spiritual energies, the material energies, and the marginal energies. Spiritual is anything spirit, like in Vaikuntha planets, everything is spiritual. Material is this matter, material world made of matter, earth, water, fire, ether. And third category is the souls, we. We are known as Tatastha. Many times I mention about this. Let me ask again. Why are souls called Tatastha Shakti? Who can say? There is a material energy, there is a spiritual energy. But souls are known as Tata. Stha means situated. Yeah. Yeah, bank. Tat means on the bank. What is the feature about a bank of a river?
It's neither on the land nor on the water body.
Yeah, well, two things are there. That it's on the edge, okay? Either it will come under the water sometime or sometime it won't. So jivas are known as tatastha because we are between material and spiritual. Sometime we'll fall into Maya, and not sometime, all the time for us. We are in the material world. Or sometime we'll be in the spiritual energy. When you are purified, you are self-realized, we are under the spiritual energy. When we are in the material, now we are in the material energy. Okay, so I'm explaining about spiritual and material energies because we are going to understand what is the meaning, Rajaguna, how does this desire for enjoyment come. Okay, so these are the three energies of Krishna, and we are now going to focus on the middle one, material energy. The material energy, Krishna is not directly administering it. He has deputed Maya Devi. She put everyone in illusion in order that they don't know who they are, they forget everything. We'll explain why. So the material energy is administered by Durga Devi, Maya Devi. So Maya Devi, she is the energy of the material world. She does everything. Now this is a shlok from Brahma Samhita. Srishti Siti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ichanurupam api Yasya Chacheshtate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The external potency, Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency, which means Chit potency is Lakshmi, but Maya Devi is the shadow. Where Lakshmi is not present, there Maya will be present. In other words, those who don't worship Vishnu, they come under the Maya category, Lakshmi Narayan, Radha Krishna. Then those who don't, then they come under the shadow. Just like if I'm present, I'm here. If there's a light shining behind me, there's a shadow. So either we are in Krishna's energy, worshipping him, or we are in the illusionary energy of Maya. So the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency is worshipped by all people as Durga. So Mother Nature, Durga Devi, she is administering the whole material creation, the creating, preserving and destroying agency of the material world. She does everything. So you can see her that actually one of her name is Vaishnavi because she's a devotee of Vishnu, Vaishnavi, but she has been given control of the material nature, and those who don't worship, who are not devotees, they come under her. And what does that mean? That she is going to cover our knowledge and she's going to make us suffer. You see, she has 10 weapons that those who are coming under the material energy, they suffer. Suffering is there in the material world. This is given in Bhagavad Gita clearly. Okay, so Krishna's energy of Maya, this material world is under Maya. Maya's function is to delude the jivas. All the souls that come in material world, they forget everything. They'll forget who they are. I am a soul, I am a servant of God, I was in Krishna's Leela. They will forget that, and they're going to, think that I am a butterfly, I'm a snake, I'm Telugu, I'm Punjabi, I'm Indian, American, man, I'm woman. They'll forget that they're Krishna, it's an eternal servant. So thinking like that, why? Because Maya has covered. Actually, jivas belong with Krishna in the spiritual world, and we are supposed to be in his Leela, serving him. But we turned away from him, now we are descended into this material world. And we are not happy. we are trying to find happiness and peace. Actually, we are trying to find again this place that we lost, the perfect life, no suffering. Okay, in Upanishad it's explained that Shrinvanto me amritasya putra, listen to me, O children of the eternal, amritasya putra, aye dhamani divyani tashtuhu. O you who are situated in the divya dham, aye dhamani divyani tashtuhu. We were situated there, now you have come here. Now remember where you have come from. We can't remember, our knowledge is gone. So in Bhagavad Gita it's explained how Durga has covered us. Okay, I just put everything in perspective. We have our title, remember? Why we sin against our will. I'm coming to that answer, okay? So we are souls, but we lost our knowledge, and now we are having this desire to do so many things. We lost our identity. Okay, so as I said that we are thinking different things, that we are not soul. How many people here originally from Andhra Pradesh? How many from Karnataka? You're not, you're souls, all of you. I don't have anything against the state, okay? I'm just telling you that, see, next birth we'll appear as an elephant, okay? Then we'll see the water, we have to swim in the water, because I'm an elephant, I have to do that. So Maya has covered us so nicely that we forgot all the memories gone, no clue. Okay, we are so fixed. Now here's a shlok explaining this, okay? That Maya covers our knowledge. Look at this Bhagavad Gita. Avritam jnanam etena jnanino nitya virina kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Thus the wise living entity, jnanino means one who has so much knowledge. We have knowledge. Actually we are full of knowledge. We know who is God. We know who we are. We know Trikalagya. We know past, present, future. We know everything. But it's covered. It's been covered. So avrityam means covered. Avrityam jnanam etena jnanino nitya virina. The eternal enemy has covered us, our eternal enemy. Kama rupena kaunteya. The desire to enjoy in this world, enjoy this material body, enjoy this material world, is described as nitya virina, eternal enemy. Why? Because it will keep us in this material world. We cannot go back. We cannot go back to Krishna, because we are thinking, how I'm going to enjoy, how I'm this way, that way, next, so many plans. So it says here, and his knowledge becomes covered, consciousness becomes covered by eternal enemy in the form of lust. Now, this means at this point we lost all, like amnesia. Amnesia means sometimes someone has accident or hits his head, then he forgets, who are you? I can't remember. And he starts looking around, who is my parent, where's my house, so like that, we can't remember. But now it's explaining why this happened. Why did Maya cover us? Why did we lose our knowledge? Why? Kama rupen. Because we desired to be away from Krishna. We desired to be, not to serve God, but to be on our own, separately. So then Durga has been given the permission that if anyone desires that, you have to cover their knowledge, make them forget they are the soul. Okay? So now we are covered, and we are trying to satisfy ourselves. Now, two words are given here. Dushpurena, nalena, alena. So this verse is saying Dushpurena. Dushpurena means that Purna means complete. Dushpurena means it will never be satisfied. You will never be complete. If you're thinking, I'm going to enjoy and be happy, but you can never be fully happy in material world, because it's like a fire which you're trying to put alena. Nalena means fire. Dushpurena nalena means it's like a fire that I'm going to, how do you put out the fire? Throw petrol? No. So that's not the way to put out the fire. Similarly, how to satisfy lust? By engaging it in your desires. No, it will never be satisfied. That's the nature of lust. It's like a fire. So, but what will happen? Rather, it will keep you in this material world. Okay. So now that verse said, when Arjuna asked, what makes someone sin against their will? So Krishna said that due to karma, due to desire, someone has desire to enjoy in this world, So he gets infected by Rajagun. That Rajagun is put in by material energy, which makes you forget who you are, so you can satisfy your desire. Otherwise you cannot, because you know I'm a servant of Krishna. But everyone has a different plan to enjoy. So they are born in a different country, different family, different religion, different species. Some like to swim, they can swim, take a fish form and swim. Some like to glide, do sky gliding, then they take a form of an eagle, they're gliding whole day. So according to our desire, we'll take a certain form, okay? And who does this? Devi Prakriti, Maya. She'll give you the form, give you the body, give you the family, whatever. In this way, exactly what you desired. And it puts something to push you now to enjoy, as you desired in the past. Because by nature we cannot do it. We don't have actually desire to enjoy. Because we are souls. The nature of the soul is simply to serve Krishna. But we had desire not to. So Maya has to cover us, put us in a dream condition that, okay, now you are this, now enjoy how you wanted. This is the plan of the material world. So now we are trying and trying to enjoy. Even we don't want to, but inside that guna has been put, Rajagun, pushing, enjoy, do it. Just like a buffalo. Now supposing you take birth as a buffalo, you're roaming around, then the buffalo sees mud. What will he do? He'll run in the mud and sit there. You think he wants to do that? No, he's a servant of God. But he's been infected because in a past life he had certain desires which are fitting that body form. So it will push him, the guna will push him. Now go and sit in that mud. Or someone is born very angry, very restless and angry, because in a past life he associated with that guna. So noting everything we do in our present life, next life, we get that ability, that nature. So because of the Rajagun. Now Rajagun, how many people have heard of this term, Rajagun? Oh no, let's put it differently. Who has not heard what is Rajagun? What is mode of passion? Who has not heard? Everyone has some idea? Okay. Anyway, let me just mention it, okay? When we are speaking about guna, okay, guna, this is 3 modes of nature. You see, nature, like this material world, nature, is made up of 3 modes, 3 degrees of intensity of material energy. This is from Bhagavad Gita. Material nature consists of 3 modes: goodness, passion, ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, oh mighty Arjun, he becomes conditioned by the modes. So, say, I am in Vaikuntha, I am free from material desire. Now I come into the material world. When I enter the material world, immediately I get infected with these 3 modes. But the beginning, infection is not much. I can easily go back, but no, I want to enjoy more. Okay, then I get more infected and take birth again. And then the next birth is depending on my desire. Now look at the 3 modes. These are the different ideas, how they're conditioned. You see, you have different types of people. Okay, so now those in, say, Tamogun, it's written, darkness, inertia, country, and here it's so small. Inactivity. What is that? Can you read out? Yes, sorry, I can't read it.
From darkness, inertia, inactivity, heaviness, staleness, laziness, stability,
materiality,
insentience, obstruction.
Distortion. Okay. Obstruction. Okay, basically someone in Tamogun, sleepy, lazy, lethargic, mad, like this. Okay, that means he's been infected by the Tamogun a lot. Someone in Rajagun, you can see on the right side, it's written what are the qualities of one in Tamogun, Rajagun? Energy, activity, change, passion, dynamic, agitation. Okay, and then Sattvagun, you can see those who are in mode of goodness. Okay, yeah, thanks. the problem? Light, balance, intelligence, yeah, awareness, wellness, inspiration. So now we're encouraged that we have to be in sattva gun to practice spiritual life. But Krishna is saying in that verse, when Arjuna asked that what makes someone sin against their will, so Krishna is saying it's due to Rajagun. Rajaguna samudbhava, kama isha krodha isha, Rajaguna samudbhava. From Rajagun comes Kam. That is in Rajagun, you see. So, if we have excess Rajagun, then we are driven for enjoying the body, enjoying this world, that we cannot think, we're deciding we'll not follow dharma, we'll not follow any spirituality. We just want to enjoy. So, Krishna is telling Arjuna, when one is infected with this mode more, Rajagun, then that happens. Okay? So, the nature of Rajagun is like that, and it creates some behavioral tendencies. For example, anger, lust, and tamogun gives sleep, laziness. So in the case of Arjuna, his desire was to not fight. So he's asking, I don't want to fight, this is sinful, but I can't stop it. Why am I doing this? Why am I not taking this position? So he replies that because of Rajagun, because you have desire to enjoy. There's some desire to enjoy inside you. And because of that, you said, I'm not going to do my duty. So this is an important point. It's due to the modes. So now, we should understand, in this particular time, we have certain guna modes. Okay? And this is from the past life. Everyone has a certain character. Now we are born as humans. Other animals are being born. On the road you walk, you see that some puppies are born from a dog. They are jivas also. They may have been in a human form, but due to their having consciousness of dog, now they took birth there. Very often, animals even born in a certain area, mostly now dogs are born in so many stray dogs, they're from the same area. They are from maybe the next same house where they're sleeping, but their consciousness was like a dog. Doggish, so they took birth as a dog or cat. Prabhupada explained, in Vrindavan there's so many monkeys because Shastra explains, when one performs illicit sex in the dham, they must take birth as a monkey. And Prabhupada said there's so many monkeys in Vrindavan. He said this is the reason in the holy dham. And so what we have to understand, that our tendency for sinful activity, anybody, is due to their desire in the past to engage in this material activities. So they've been given that nature in this life which makes them tendency to do that. And so hard they cannot stop. But how do you stop it then? The way to stop. Well, Bhagavad Gita says in chapter 14, text 9, Krishna explains what are the gunas. And he says that simply by understanding how the modes are working, they will stop acting. Simply by understanding what is Rajagun, how it's acting, how the mechanism is working that is making me sinful or pious, understanding the intricacies, we can understand. And where is that knowledge? Bhagavad Gita. Everything is in the Gita. We have to read it. If we read Bhagavad Gita, it's explained in Gita Mahatmya, glorification of Gita, Naiva santihi papani punarjanma kitani cha. The sins of the past life will not touch you. Simply by reading Gita. Why? Because when you get the Gyan, Brahma Gyan, spiritual knowledge, now I begin to understand who I am, how I am, what is the plan, then it will not act. Simply by reading Gita, we destroy volume sinful reaction and our tendency for sinning goes. We have seen people change by reading Gita. So this is one way to stop the Rajagun effect in us, because these low modes are making us sinful. We read the list. Rajagun gives calm, anger, greed, so many things, negative things. Okay? So when Rajagun and Tamogun, laziness, sleep, indolence, lethargy, madness. So if we're going to stop this effect, How do we do it? We have to remove the guna effect. So the guna effect goes, number one, by reading about it. When we study, Bhagavad Gita has knowledge how the jiva is covered by the modes and how to come out. And gradually by reading, our tendency for sinful activity goes, because we get spiritual knowledge, okay? That is destroyed. So that is one way, by reading Gita. Okay, another way is that when we practice bhakti, Bhagavad Gita says in chapter 14, basically chapter 14 describes the gunas. In the whole chapter 14 explaining the nature, how we are covered by the different gunas. So now, in text 26 of that same chapter 14, because Arjuna asked that, Krishna, you are explaining about these modes, and it sounds very scary, I am under these modes. How can we overcome the modes? How can we stop them from pushing us to do sinful activity? You know, the jiva, the soul, it has nothing to do with material nature. We have nothing, no connection. Only because of Krishna's intervention that we've been put here. And why? Because of our desire. And we have to change our desire. If our desire remains to be in this world and to make for sense enjoyment, then Krishna will, the Durga, Devi, will make the Maya effect cover us and make us suffer. If the desire changes to come to Krishna, then there is no jurisdiction of Maya. Maya cannot touch Jiva. You know, example is like this, karta. So, it will move if someone pushes. I'm pushing, it's going. This is called impel. So, Jiva, the guna is impelling us to do sinful things. It's pushing us. So, how to make, Arjuna asks, how to come out of the effect? So, Krishna says, Mam chayo avhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityetan brahmabhuyaya kalpate. Krishna says, if one turns to me and begins to worship me in devotional service, sagunan samatityetan, that means he transcends the modes. He comes above, they cannot touch him. Sagunan samatityetan brahmabhuyaya kalpate. He comes to the spiritual level, free from effect of the material energy. So for one who gradually comes to, reads Bhagavad Gita, chants Hare Krishna and comes towards spiritual life, then these sinful effects go away. We have seen practically over many years that generally when people come in our Sangha, we don't tell them, these are bad habits, don't do this, don't do that. We don't even ask what people are doing. We don't even care. Why? Because we understand if someone takes prasadam, someone reads Bhagavad Gita, someone chants Hare Krishna, after some time, they will not want to do any of the sinful effects. Why? Because the effect of bhakti reduces rajagun, tamagun. Sagunan samatityetan. The lower modes go. Srimad Bhagavatam also explains in more detail. Bhagavad Puran is a very powerful theistic shastra. By reading Bhagavatam, one's mind becomes very firmly fixed in Vishnu, Krishna's bhakti. So there it's explained, effect of reading Bhagavatam, tada rajas tamo bhava kama lobha dayas chaye cheter eter anavidham. By reading Bhagavatam or hearing Bhagavatam, that it says that the rajas tamo bhava, the effect of rajagun, tamagun is destroyed. Then kama lobha dayas chaye, then kam, lobh, all these disappear. Cheter eter anavidham. From our consciousness they become clear. Stitvam sattve prasidati. Then he becomes very happy, peaceful, because all these anger, lust, and desires, and greed, envy, they all disappear from the heart, from the consciousness. So he becomes very peaceful. Okay, so how to become free from effect of the modes which make us sin? One is understand their working. Simple. Chapter 14, text 9, Krishna says, simply by understanding the modes, they will not act on it. Okay? But don't just read chapter 14. You have to read the whole Gita to understand it. Okay? That's one. Second, by practicing bhakti. Krishna says, chanting Hare Krishna, taking prasad, listening on spiritual topics, visiting holy places, etc. Okay? Included in bhakti is also reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So when we do this, the influence of the guna retreats, because Maya Devi has been told that when one is Going away from Krishna, you attack them. When one comes to Krishna, you cannot do anything. There's a shloka. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Haya Andhakara. Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Adhikara. That Krishna is like the sun, Maya is like darkness. Wherever there's sun, there cannot be darkness. Now the light is on, you cannot have any darkness here. But here, under here, there's a shadow. Why? Because light did not go there. So Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Haya Andhakara. But Maya is darkness. Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Adhikara. Where Krishna is, there cannot be effect of Maya. Maya means suffering, illusion, doubt, all kind of negative things. But where Krishna is, in the form of his chanting or hearing or reading, then these effects cannot be there. Therefore, a jiva simply has to come back to his original position of Krishna consciousness. Then he'll not be under these influences. So to develop a sinless, pious character free from sin, one simply has to again take up this. I'm saying again because originally we are from there. Upanishad says, originally we are all from Krishna's planet. We fell, now one has to come back. When we come back, everything will be over. That's why we in ISKCON, we don't tell people, okay, stop meat eating, don't do this, don't do that. We simply say, you take up bhakti, because everything will be solved. All kind of mental disturbance, physical, disturbance, society, whatever negative things, goes when one comes on a spiritual platform. Okay, so in conclusion, why does someone sin against their will? Due to effect of Rajagun, which came because in a past life we desired to enjoy. How to overcome it? Reading Bhagavad Gita and understanding the workings. Second, taking up the process of bhakti. That will put us on a spiritual platform. We don't have to change significantly our life. Simply take up the principles of bhakti. Chanting Hare Krishna and Japa, hearing, reading Bhagavad Gita, etc., etc. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yes, Anurag. Sorry, Harsh. Yeah.
So I had this question in the starting part.
Yes.
In which Arjuna said that it is sinful for me to not perform a duty. So before that, I had the notion that sin is only occurred if we do something. But it is also possible to sin without doing something.
Yes, yes.
So I just want clarification.
Okay. Now, in accounting, I studied accounts. It was saying they get some, it's called error of commission when you make an error in accounts. Okay? There's another thing, error of omission. Have you heard of that? When you're supposed to write something but you didn't. There was an expense which I didn't write, which is an error. So by not doing that, it becomes an even serious case, an accountant. Why didn't you write this expense? Okay? And another thing in modern life, supposing I'm standing and someone is getting attacked. I'm not doing anything, but I have ability to stop, but I didn't stop. I'll also be arrested. Abating, I facilitated the crime. Why didn't you do something? You were there, you saw it's your relative. So there can be a crime committed by not doing something. Also sometimes some child does something very wrong, then they go to the parents. Why didn't you control your child? Why didn't you come to jail? Why did you give them the car to drive, So yeah, that is there even now in the Vedic conception, that everyone has certain duties which if we don't do, like a parent. Actually parents, it's written in 5th canto, chapter 5 of Bhagavatam, Pita nasasya janina nasasya na moche samupeta mrityu. One should not become mother or father unless they can liberate their children from the cycle of birth and death. And this is given that it becomes sinful otherwise. So to answer your point, yes, there are things which if we don't do, it's sinful. Yeah.
I had one question in that regarding the 3 modes.
Yeah.
Where else can you study this apart from Bhagavad Gita?
Oh yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam goes in detail very nicely. The Bhagavad Puran is Bhagavad Gita expanded. Now then in Bhagavad Puran in the 3rd canto, Lord Kapila's teachings, there's a whole chapter, long chapter on material energy. And then again in the 11th canto, Uddhav Gita, Krishna is instructing Uddhav. In between, so many other sections are there. But in these two areas, there's a great depth. So Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of the Bhagavad. Actually, our text is Bhagavatam. Gita is the preliminary entry level. Then we're supposed to read Bhagavatam. But if one, you see, like Arjuna had a high consciousness, Gita was enough. He heard it and got it. So your answer to your question is, in Bhagavatam you'll get it.
And also, to add to the question, like, is this three gunas
Yeah.
in any way in connection with those concepts of Ayurveda, of like Bath, Vedanta, like, because a lot of them were matching with that also.
Yeah, combinations are there. For example, I heard excess kapha is tamasic, because it will be slowish, and but they have other benefits. They are they'll be calm, and but it is like that. There is something connection like that. But I cannot say much because I don't know the details. But I heard this, that kapha is kind of tam. But no one is purely one. They mixed. Everyone is mixed.
Even for the gunas also.
Even
the gunas are mixed. Right?
Yeah, gunas are mixed. Not everyone is one. If you are one, it's rare, but it will be very difficult, because no, you're talking about guna, not dosha, kapha, pitta. Gunas are mixed, that's true. Purely sattva gun means spiritual. It's called shuddha sattva. Even the sattva gun here in this material world is mixed. There'll be rajagun, tamagun mixed. Yeah. Yeah.
We are often given the example of we did this in a previous life and we decided this in a previous life.
Yeah.
And so this present life is affected this way. And what we do in this life will affect our next life.
Yeah.
How can we be sure about that?
How to be sure?
Yeah.
We can't. Many things we can't be sure. Prabhupada gives example that like a small boy or child.
Because anyways,
Okay.
we will, next life we'll again forget that this was our present condition.
Yeah. You see, we are very limited people, you see. As I give many times this example, we cannot prove anything. Now all of you are going to college, in the class you're sitting and they're telling you this electron, this thing, this, a battery has anode, cathode, and when you put this reaction, who's going to check that? We are accepting, listening. Physics, we were taught particle physics in my A-level, and there were so many details, the charge of this electron, the speed of the electron, the angle which the forms. Who's going to check that? We had to accept a lot of things, because we cannot measure everything. A lot of things. Existence of, certain things in our body, intelligence. So materially speaking also, Prabhupada gave an example, like a small child doesn't know anything except the mother. Then mother saying, this is your father. Child has to accept it. Child cannot say, I don't know, are you sure? Let me check DNA. Let me start checking. Child cannot, because he's in a position, just whatever mother says, I have to listen. Mother says, eat this is good for you. Okay. Now wake up. Okay. Now sleep. Okay. So Prabhupada said that mother is Shruti, Veda. Veda says we have to listen. Well, we cannot check these things. So now Veda is explaining that this is your past, this is your future, we accept. And somebody say, no, we don't accept, we don't know, we don't believe. But none of us knows what happens after death. We have to take a knowledge source beyond our experience, because death is beyond our experience. We cannot use our senses to check it. Even if you don't accept Veda, say you accept science, still we cannot prove that. So this is called leap of faith. That means we have to just take pick something to accept as a knowledge. But we have to test it. For example, Vedas have never been proved wrong in any, we have, as I mentioned, Ayurveda, astrology, so many other sciences in the Vedas are fully functioning. Astrological part, astronomy, they have measurements of the universe and everything. It's independent from the Western. So we can prove Vedas are perfect and there's never been any mistake. But scientists make a lot of mistakes and changes every few years. Syllabus changes. What I studied science in 1999, I did a degree, studied something in physics. Now today they'll be studying a different thing. So to answer you, how do we know this is true? We cannot know this, we cannot know a lot of things. We cannot know if there's anything called electron existing in this creation. But we accept praman, we accept a Shabda praman. Accept something as authority and take that knowledge. Okay, so, however, there are, if you go all over YouTube now, just Google past life experience, memories, people in America, Britain speaking perfect knowledge about a past life in a city they've never been. Some talking like Japanese, they've never been to Japan. Till certain age, then they forget. Young children speaking about. And sometimes there's someone called Ian Stevenson. He took 3,000 cases where children are saying that, and he interviewed them. Where is this place? It's described, it's near the ocean, it's a beach and this and that. They did the calculation, this is Sri Lanka. Okay, where is it? Okay, and what happened? My mother's living there, my father, a little 3-year-old child, 4-year-old. They go there and find everything is true. And then the child is wondering, what happened? There was a door here. No, we covered it. Okay. And where's my husband? Here. Okay. So, actually he proved it, past lives. But when he presented to the scientific community, they didn't respond. I read this in a magazine called New Scientist. He presented the knowledge, but science didn't know what to do. They couldn't understand. We can't prove it, disprove it, but if we accept it, it will just throw away all this modern science, and we'll have to accept Vedas. We don't want to do that. We'll go out of business. We'll lose our college grant and everything. So, okay, no comment. Is it true? No comment. That's it. Okay, so that's one answer, that we cannot know. Second, you just research past life experiences online, so many. Okay, we end now? Okay. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Okay, so just few announcements.